Okay, everybody, this is Amin Ra, and I am here today to give an update video 2017 on how to run a WordPress site on AWS. And this is developer focused. So I have this domain right here, tameboutique.com, and I'm going to install WordPress using Amazon Elastic Cloud Computing and RDS, Relational Database Service, MySQL. So let's first start with showing you how to create a MySQL database. So I already have Tame Boutique here, so I'm just gonna walk you through. I got another domain that I gotta put on WordPress also. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the launch instance, and I'm click on MySQL, click select, and so I'm gonna go for the free tier. So I'm gonna click MySQL, and then click next step. And so what I want is the DB instance classes. I just want a small DB2 T2 DB T2 micro. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm not gonna want it to be. I don't want any redundancy right now. That's not important. And then I'm gonna go ahead and name my instance. And I'm gonna give it the same name as far as the master username also. And then I'm gonna give it a password. And I'm gonna repeat that password. All right. Now it's important that I'm not going over how to install WordPress. I'm just going over how to set up WordPress on AWS. So next step is to click next step. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give it my, I'm gonna go ahead and give it the virtual private cloud VPC that I've already created. And I've created a subnet group called phpMyAdmin, because that's the reason why I'm doing this, so I can set up phpMyAdmin. And I've created a VPC security group called Wide Open, which is which is a VPC that has all. So and then I'm gonna go ahead and let me clarify that. So if we go down to security groups and we look at the security groups that we have under Amazon Elastic Cloud, I have this security group called Wide Open, and if I click that, you will see the inbound traffic is all and the outbound traffic is all. So make sure you set it up for that. So let me go back to here. I'm going to give my database a name. Let me go over to my Visual Studio Code here. And the site that I'm going to be deploying is this site right here. I already have it right here. Let me copy this right here. So that's the database name that I'm going to give it. And then I created my own custom parameter group, and you can do that once you create a database. And you go to your database instances control panel. So now I have all that created. So now I'm going to go ahead and launch the DB instance. So it has been created, and I can view it. And so now it's being created. I'm not going to wait on it to be created because I'm going to use this Tame Boutique database. And like I said, if you want to create a parameter group, you can do it right here. I have this large import parameter group. So I've got that done. So now I just need to create a EC2 instance for Vila, which is the other website I'm going to be deploying. So the EC2 instance that I'm using, the operating system I'm using, that I have not had any problems with RDS and phpMyAdmin is Ubuntu 16.04. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the free tier, and then I'm just gonna keep that selected, and then click next. And then I'm gonna go ahead and choose my VPC again. And there are plenty of tutorials on how to set up a VPC, so you can look at that. And I'm going to keep it on the subnet that I want it on, and I'm going to allow that subnet to give me an IP address. So I'm going to use an IP address from that subnet, and that's all I need to do from here. And then click next again. For the free tier, you get up to 30 gigs of storage. So I'm gonna maximize my storage. Click next again. I'm gonna add a tag, and I'm gonna give my EC2 instance a name, and I'm just gonna call it Ketavila. And then hit next again. And then I'm going to give it a security group. Remember, I showed you guys those security groups. So we need this to be accessible to the internet. So these are the settings down here that I have to make sure that it's accessible to the internet. And then I'm going to review and launch. So everything is cool. You can do other things to customize it to improve stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and launch my EC2 now. I already have a key value pair created, the Ketavila one right here. So I already have that stored on my system, but if you need to create one, you can create one and then download it. And then I'm going to go ahead. So I've associated that key value pair with my instance. And then I'm going to go ahead and launch the instance. Boom, it's done. View the instance, and it's being created right now. So my key value pairs are stored in one folder. Let me show you where that's stored at. So I have an AWS folder, and then I have a key value pair right here, and these are all my key value pairs for my different EC2 instances. And again, I'm using Ubuntu. So I want to go ahead and work on my Team Boutique. One is this instance right here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect, and I'm going to go ahead and copy my SSH command right here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the command line right here and copy that in there, and boom, I'm in my Ubuntu instance. So the first thing I need to do is I need to run a series of commands. So actually, let me do this. So because I'm just going to be copying back and forth. So I'm going to put my terminal between my command between my notepad window. So I have a Bitbucket repository snippet that I'm going to be sharing with this video. So I have actually Red Hat Linux and Ubuntu commands. So if you want to use a Red Hat version or an Amazon Linux version, you can if you want to use a yum installer. But I'm going to be using apt-get. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and update. And well, we don't have any updates, but if you needed to update, all you would do is just do sudo apt update, and oh, it did have some updates. Oh, there's 30 packages that need to be updated. So then I just hit clear, and I go ahead and say upgrade instead of update. And I'm upgrading, and it's gonna take a little bit. And while it's doing that, the other thing that I want to show you is passing files to your actual server. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and copy this portion of your what's the name of your command, and I'm using transmit to do SFTP. So here it is right here. So if I edit this, I have this part right here. I pasted that part here, and then I put in Ubuntu, and then I went and got my key and pasted it in there, and then I just saved it. And so then when I click on this, boom, so I'm able to put files in my home folder. So if I need to FTP, you do it through the secure FTP, which is what I'm doing it through. So I'm done with the update. So that secure FTP file, that zip file, is in my home folder. So if I do a pwd, that shows you where my home folder is. So now I need to move that to my host to my public to my public folder, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go ahead and continue to follow my commands. So the second thing is I'm going to install Nginx, unzip, and nano. So I'm going to do this right here. Apt-get install. You can use apt or apt-get install. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do that. So now I have Nginx installed, unzip installed, and the nano editor installed. So now I'm going to install PHP and PHP fast CGI, PHP 7 fast CGI processing module, and PHP 7 on zip. So I'm going to do that, and that's for if you want to import the zip is if you want to import SQL zip files into phpMyAdmin, MyAdmin. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in terminal. Install PHP. As you can see, it's creating the config files and all that other stuff, and it's done. So clear. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and install MySQL. Oh, that's the Red Hat version. So I'm going to go ahead and install MySQL. And you need to give yourself a root password. And repeat that. And let it continue to install. Okay. And so now I'm going to go ahead and now work on my Nginx configuration. So I'm going to start with my default conf file in my sites available. So there's a couple of things that I need to do in this one. So the first thing is that the index.php is not the default file. It's not a default file, default root file. So you need to add that into your default. So index.php right here. And then we need to comment out this right here. And we need to add this directive right here. Where is it at? Oh, it's over here. So we need to add this directive right here. So instead of the 404 file, we need the index.php file to be added. So here we go. Add that. And then what we need to do is uncomment the PHP location block so that we have everything going on. Don't uncomment the fast CGI pass 127.0.0.1.900. We don't need to do that, but we do need to uncomment this fast CGI one, and we need to copy these scripts right here. So pause your video because this is not a part of the snippet link that I'm giving you. So that you can write this stuff down. Oh. All right, so we got everything in here that should be working. And I'll do another video on installing your SSL certificate. So we have that. So just hit Control X to save it. All right. So then we want to go and edit our Nginx conf file, and we just need to make one addition to this file. This is for MySQL. I'm just going to add a a block to my HTTP, a line of code to my HTTP block, and I'm going to add it at the end right here. And PHP, this is for phpMyAdmin. So I'm getting a extra body size. So then I'm gonna click that, click save. Then I'm going to, I don't need to worry about configuring my FPM configuration. But then I want to go ahead and auto start my fast CGI processing module and Nginx. So what I do is I just copy these commands right here for Ubuntu. And copy this command for PHP. And then I want to go ahead and start the services. So it's to start Nginx. To start Nginx, I do this. So hit start, and then to start the fast CGI for PHP 7. Hit this, and then what I want to do is I want to test my Nginx to make sure that it's properly configured. So I do this. And it's okay. Then I want to go ahead and configure my local MySQL installation. I didn't copy that, the whole thing. Do that. And I want to enter my root password again. And just press return or enter. I don't want to change the password, so press enter again. And then these are all Y, so just type Y, Y, and Y, and Y. And then you're done with that. So our MySQL installation is configured. So now I want to go ahead and install phpMyAdmin. So I just copy this command right here. Paste that, and go ahead and let that configure, and just tab through this. Don't check either one of them, and you're going to get one more prompt for this, and you're going to tab through that one also. No, you're not going to tab, just hit yes, and then put your MySQL password in again. Let me make sure I'm putting it in right. And then do it again. And we're good, and the installation is complete. So now the last thing, well, some of the last things we need to do is we need to go ahead and create a symbolic link in our home folder. So in our web root folder for phpMyAdmin. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And that link is created. And now I want to go ahead and set up my RDS for my phpMyAdmin. So I want to link phpMyAdmin to my RDS. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this file right here. And so So now I have that. So I have there's a GitHub repository on another YouTube video from another guy that connects RDS to your EC2 instance. So you can see that video. I'll paste that link in here. So come down here, and below just above the authentication part, what you want to do is go ahead and paste that. So right here, give a little space and just paste that. And what I need to do is I need to get my RDS information. So let me go here to my instance. And so it's Tame Boutique is the username. So I pretty much know that's the username. So copy that. And then come up here for the server name. I'm sorry. Server name. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is a URL. The username goes down here. So right here, let me paste that right here. Boom. And then what I want to do is get the host URL. So copy this right here. And then come up here to get the server. Yeah, the host. Copy that and delete the :3306. And then again, I want to go ahead and put in the password right here. So all right, so I have that. So go ahead and save. All right, so I got that saved. And the last thing is, because I'm going to be importing I'm going to be doing a big MySQL dump, I'm going to go ahead and edit my phpINI file. So that, and I'm going to go ahead and do this right here. Copy these files and do a Control W, paste that in. So I'm going to comment this out and paste my new parameter in right here, postmax file size. Copy this right here. Do another Control W, paste that in right there, delete the value. And again, comment that out and paste this right here, so that when you want to go back to your original file settings, you can do a Control W. Comment that out. Put that right there. And do another Control W. Comment that out. Paste that right there. And set my memory limit again. I mean, not again, but you know what I'm saying. And comment that out. And then paste that right there. So now I have that. Just hit Control X. So we need to reload and restart our PHP. So just hit your up arrow, and instead of sudo service start for PHP, just type in restart and press your up arrow again, and just do a restart, and then do a sudo Nginx -t just to make sure everything is cool. So we got everything cool. So now I can go to Tame Boutique phpMyAdmin. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. Why can't I do that? Oh, do I have it spelled right? Boutique.com. So let's go to cd/var www HTML. Yeah, let me make sure that my server is running. No, it's not running. Oh, you know what I got to do? I've got to point my domain. I got to put my IP address to my domain. So this IP address needs to be on my domain. So to do that, to assign that to a domain, go to Route 53 and come down here to Team Boutique. And I know I don't have any A record. So let me create an A record and paste my IP address in there. Good learning lesson. Then I need to create another A record to put the www in there. So there we go. And then paste that. And this takes a couple of seconds to do. So while that's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to go back to my home folder and move my WordPress zip file. So I'm going to go sudo mv, mv, and then /var www HTML. Move that there, and then cd/var www HTML. Boom. So now I just need to unzip. I need to unzip the file. Oh, I need to do sudo unzip. It's going to unzip that. And sudo. Let's do a little bit of cleaning up, get rid of that Mac file right there. And then I'm going to go into the installation, into the directory. Make sure I have all my files in there. So let me just make sure I have correctly everything in my, no I don't. So let me edit my wp config. wp-config .php. Oops. So, sudo nano wp-config.php. So I got everything. I think everything is correct on here except for my salt keys. So I need to delete these and get some new salt keys. Come over here, and I already had the salt keys. Refresh them, copy them right here. Paste them, and I just want to make sure that my instance, my DB connection is correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this again. Come up here and come over here. Delete this and just make. I'm just taking extra precaution so I don't have a DB error. Delete the 336 and Control X. Yes. Boom. So we got that done. So by now we should see phpMyAdmin. Well, that's the Nginx page. So let me go back, and there's phpMyAdmin. So I'm going to switch it to the RDS instance. Type in my username, Tamed Boutique, and put in my password. Sign in. So boom, I'm signed in, and I already have my database created because I created it when I Did that. I'm just going to do a quick SQL dump. And I know I can do a large file dump because my max size is bigger now. So I'm going to do a SQL dump. And let me go over here to that file. Get my MySQL dump file. Here it is right here. Just Control C, Control, and then come over here and dump it in there. And hit go. That's gonna load. It shouldn't take that long. The reason why we're doing all this, let me refresh this. The reason why I've moved all of my sites from GoDaddy, if you've watched my YouTube videos, to AWS, is it just gives me more flexibility. As you can see, I had all of my sites on one CentOS box, and now I have all these virtual machines running, and it's cheaper. You know, it actually costs me less to do it like this than to have one box on GoDaddy. So now the database is loaded. I just need to go in because I haven't set up my SSL certificates. I need to just change my my options right here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and take off the HTTPS right here. So I'll show you. I'm just taking off the HTTPS so I don't get redirected. And boom. And then edit this one right here. Take off the HTTPS. And I will do another video cast on a YouTube video for setting up a free SSL certificate for your sites also. So be looking out for that on AWS. So I got that done. So what I want to do is I want to go to my, I want to go ahead and make sure everything is straight. So I might as well go ahead and copy my index.php file. So sudo cp index.php to my root folder. So ... And what I want to do is I want to copy my path to my WordPress installation right here, and then go up one level and then do a sudo nano index.php and come down here and come over here to this and just paste that path in there and hit Control X. Save that. Oh, I need to go back into my installation real quick. And I need to make sure that my uploads folder is readable. So I need to do a sudo nano, chmod -r 777 wp content, and then uploads, and then boom. So this was a already installed WordPress installation on GoDaddy. So now it should work. So if I go to /wplogin.php, I should be able to, I'm good. I've installed WordPress. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. Oh, obviously I typed something wrong. So I'm logging in. Everything is good. Of course, I got some updates I need to do, but my WordPress installation paths should be correct after I change them in the database, which they are. And so now I can see my home page, and boom, it is working, and it's super fast. So I have just showed you how to install WordPress on AWS. This is an updated version, a complete version. Thank you for watching this video, and look for more videos on AWS. I'm off of GoDaddy. Get off of GoDaddy. Get to the cloud, whether it's AWS, Rackspace, Google Cloud, Azure, get on the cloud. That's the way to go. All right. Thank you, everybody.